Chapter 1. The Emperor's Shadow. They said the Emperor's banners could be seen from 100 miles away, crimson silk rippling, like rivers of blood under the morning sun. Beneath those banners, thousands of soldiers stood at attention, hearts beating as one. And at the head of them all stood a young general named Taro Ishida, the man people called the Emperor's Shadow. Taro was brilliant, victorious in every battle, loved by his troops and feared by his enemies. He ruled his army with a strict but steady hand, believing that loyalty was born from discipline, yet behind his calm eyes was a storm, because in his heart, he knew something was missing. His victories felt empty, his soldiers obeyed, but their eyes were cautious. His captains praised him, but their smiles carried fear. Taro's army was efficient, but not alive. One night, as he walked the silent courtyard of his camp, he met the Emperor's old advisor, a frail monk named Master Rembo. The monk had once been a warrior himself, before trading his sword for prayer beads. "Taro," said the monk, his voice soft but piercing, "you command your army like a storm, swift, powerful, unstoppable, but tell me, do they follow you because they trust you, or because they fear your thunder?" Taro frowned. "Fear brings order. Without it, men grow lazy." Rembo smiled sadly. "And yet, fear can only push men's bodies, never their hearts. You can win battles through fear, but never peace." The young general said nothing. His silence was an unspoken defiance, but somewhere inside him, the words left a crack in his armor. Chapter 2. The Weight of Favor. A month later, the empire prepared for war. Rumors had spread that the northern provinces were rebelling, led by an ambitious warlord named Okura. Taro was chosen to lead the emperor's army once more. Before marching north, he gathered his captains. Among them were two who had always stood out: Captain Hayato, fierce and loyal, known for his honesty; Captain Riku, cunning and charming, skilled in politics as much as combat. During the campaign, Riku flattered Taro at every opportunity. He brought fine tea, polished reports, and empty compliments. Hayato, in contrast, was blunt, often disagreeing with his commander when he thought strategy was flawed. When the battle came, both fought fiercely. But fate is a cruel judge. Riku's unit arrived late. While Hayato's men held the line against overwhelming odds, they saved the army from disaster. That night, as the soldiers cheered victory, Riku approached Taro's tent with a fabricated report blaming Hayato for acting without orders. Taro, tired and frustrated, believed him. Without investigation, he stripped Hayato of his command and promoted Riku instead. The next morning, Hayato stood before him, his armor dusty, but his eyes unbroken. "General," he said, "I have followed you through snow and fire, but if the truth can be buried so easily, then even victory tastes of ash." Taro dismissed him coldly. But his words burned in the young general's mind. For the first time, he saw hesitation in the eyes of his soldiers, and in that silence he realized what Master Rembo had meant, that the heart of an army dies not from defeat, but from unfairness. Chapter 3. The Seeds of Doubt. Weeks turned into months, though the empire kept winning. Taro noticed something strange. His soldiers obeyed orders but lacked fire. Their movements were sharp, but their spirits dulled. One night, Taro found himself unable to sleep. He walked to the old monk's tent, where a single candle flickered in the dark. Rembo looked up and smiled faintly. "So, the shadow comes seeking light," Taro bowed. "Master, I fear I've lost my men. They fight, but they no longer believe. What have I done wrong?" The monk poured 2 cups of tea. "Tell me, General, when your soldiers act bravely, do you reward them?" "Yes. And when they falter, do you punish them?" "Of course, without reward and punishment, there is no order," Rembo nodded. "Then tell me, are your rewards and punishments always just?" Taro hesitated. The question hit harder than any sword. Rembo continued, "A leader's power is not in the sword he carries, but in the balance he holds. When reward and punishment are unclear, loyalty turns to resentment, and courage turns to calculation. Men stop fighting for honor, they start fighting for survival." He leaned forward. "The people do not follow justice that changes with the wind, General. They follow justice that shines like the sun, the same for everyone, unhidden, unwavering." Taro bowed his head. "Then how do I regain what I've lost?" Rembo's eyes softened. "With truth, spoken and lived, a single fair act can restore what 100 victories cannot." Chapter 4. The Test of the Heart. The next dawn, a messenger arrived with dire news. The warlord Okura had captured one of the empire's outposts, slaughtering hundreds. Taro's army was ordered to reclaim it immediately when they arrived at the fortress. Okura's army outnumbered them 2-1. The soldiers looked uneasy. Taro could see fear in their faces, not of death, but of betrayal. He gathered them before battle and said, "I have been unjust." A murmur spread through the ranks. He continued, "I punished loyalty and rewarded deceit. I failed to see clearly, but today, I make this vow, from this moment on, every act of courage will be honored. Every act of cowardice will be known. No matter who commits it, even if it is me." Then, to everyone's shock, he called Hayato forward from the rear ranks. "Captain Hayato, I wronged you. The command is yours today. Lead us." For a moment, the camp stood silent, and then a roar rose like thunder. The soldiers' hearts reignited. They no longer fought for the emperor's orders, nor for Taro's command. They fought for justice. By nightfall, the enemy was broken. The fortress was reclaimed. And when dawn came again, the crimson banners waved not with fear, but with pride. Chapter 5. The balance restored. After the victory, the emperor himself summoned Taro. Many expected praise, but the young general only bowed and said, "I learned that a sword cuts both ways. So does leadership." The emperor smiled. "Then you have learned the art of ruling men?" Taro returned to his army, his once cold demeanor replaced by calm strength. He created a new code: reward loyalty, not flattery; reward courage, not success; punish deceit, not failure. Soon, his army became known across the land not just for their victories, but for their fairness. Every soldier, from the lowest to the highest, trusted that justice would be done. And because of that, they fought with hearts unbreakable. Years later, when Taro grew old, he visited Master Rembo one last time. The monk smiled. "So, the storm has become still water." Taro laughed softly. "You were right, Master. Fear may move men's feet, but only fairness moves their souls." The monk nodded. "Then you have learned the oldest secret of leadership, that clarity is mercy and justice is love disguised as law." Epilogue. The modern reflection in our world today: armies wear suits and ties instead of armor, but the principle remains the same. Whether you lead a company, a family, or even your own mind, clarity and fairness are the foundation of trust. When you reward effort instead of luck, when you hold yourself to the same standards you expect of others, people begin to follow not because they must, but because they want to. True authority isn't given, it's earned through consistency, compassion, and truth. So when you lead in life, in love, in work, remember, reward loyalty, not flattery; punish deceit, not failure; and above all, be clear. Because people don't follow perfection, they follow fairness. And fairness, that quiet strength, is what separates those who rule through fear from those who inspire through wisdom. If this story touched you, share it with someone who leads or wants to. Remind them that wisdom, not power, is the sharpest weapon of all.